Come take a look inside our boat.
From the cockpit, there's an entrance on both sides. The stern is split into 2 cabins, both with queen-size beds and plenty of storage. This is my room where the magic happens. Every other blue moon, anyway. Just forward of my room, you'll find one of our 3 batteries, an inverter, battery monitor, solar charge controller, and one of our 3 water tanks. We are equipped to carry 60 gallons of fresh water. Port side of the galley is where books live, clothing is made, movies are edited, and tools are stored. This nifty little fold-down seat gets a lot of use. Our toilet is pretty standard. It has a hand pump and 2 settings. One to fill the bowl with water, and one to suck all the concentrated evil out. The sink runs off of this foot pump. To get to the starboard side of the boat, you can either crawl across the galley or walk through the cockpit. Our kitchen is rather basic. We have a 12-volt fridge, a 2-burner propane stove, and a sink with 1 freshwater faucet and 1 saltwater for washing dishes. There's another water tank under the fridge and a ton of storage space forward of it. Between the kitchen and JD's room is where the water maker lives. We usually try to run it for a couple hours every other day. This is also where our 3rd water tank is. Lastly, we have JD's room, also known as Magic Town. Our beds are only separated by a thin plywood wall, so on a calm night, all snoring and flatulence can easily be heard. Seeing as our boat is made out of plywood, we like to keep a lot of it around. We have pieces stashed all around the boat. We of course keep a healthy stash of epoxy, cloth, and various additives as well.
Oh, it's been leaking a little bit. Nasty.
One of the many benefits of owning a catamaran versus a monohull, and trust me, there are a lot of them, is how much more space you have for junk. Here's a list of some of the important junk we keep on board, starting with the basics. VHF radios, flare gun, fire extinguishers, air horn, breakfast horn, first aid kit, binoculars, headlamps, spotlight, bolt cutters, this stuff, EPIRBs, satellite phone, 2 PFDs, 1 life raft for survival, and 1 to party in, sunscreen, surf wax, sunglasses. We have a pair suitable for every occasion. 5 kites, 8 wetsuits, dive gear, spear guns, trolling rods, inflatable sup, 8.0, 9.1, wavestorm, 5.8, 6.0, 6.3, 6.4, 6.8, twin fish, quad fish, a paraglider, sewing machine, 6-string, 12-string ukulele flute in every key of harmonica, plastic tote drum kit, a concept my dad came up with, spinnaker, extra jib, cat and a frog, an assortment of tools, wiring connections, spare parts for the Yamaha, extra this and that, 5200 and other key ingredients, and a bologna and hot dog costume. This is arguably our most important piece of equipment. The Iridium Go allows us to make phone calls, send text messages, and download comprehensive weather data and forecasts from anywhere on the planet via satellite. This information is vital to our daily decision-making process, allowing us to know where and when optimal wind and swell conditions exist, and more importantly, helping us avoid unsafe weather conditions. The thingamajig puts out a Wi-Fi signal that we can connect to with either of our phones or iPad. The weather forecasting service we use is called Predict Wind. It has a ton of amazing features and is very easy to use. I promise this is not an ad. I truly find this thing incredible, although I wish it were an ad because we could really use the money. Here I am selecting preferences for a 10-day animated weather model of a huge portion of the Pacific Ocean. The more things you select, the bigger your download file is, and the longer your download will take. The satellite device itself has to be outside with a clear view of the sky for weather downloads, but it seems to work just fine for text messages with it inside the boat. A file this big usually takes around 10 minutes or so. The smaller ones can be much quicker. The key to happiness really is quite simple here, folks. All you gotta do is stay away from the dark red, black, or gray blobs, and you'll be just fine.